Do you like yours lightly toasted or completely burned on the outside and liquefied in the center? Yum. Yum.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, welcome back to Claiborne, and this time welcome to Blackrock. So a brief history of our property was that 3 years ago we bought some old abandoned woods that nobody has lived on for decades. There was nothing here but a very old, very thick forest and an old shack, a pond, and some creeks. So when I first started coming down here after we decided to purchase this land, my dog and I would spend the weekend and we would carve out trails and we'd try to make little clearings so that we could figure out where we wanted what. And in doing that, one of those spots became a campfire site. And we pulled up some rocks from the creek, we made a circle, and we had a little campsite with some lawn chairs, and it gave me and my dog a lot of comfort. Well, when the fire went out, I noticed that the rocks were all black. And so we affectionately named the fire pit Blackrock. And so that was kind of like the first official space that we had here at Claiborne that made us feel like we had something that was for the future. And so we sort of have been really, really busy putting in gardens and building buildings. And then our kids put up their tiny home on our property, and so the poor little fire pit has been sort of ignored all this time. So I was given a $100 budget and told to revamp my fire pit and make Blackrock special again. And so let me show you what I did. So only having a $100 budget on this project, I was really open to any and all free stuff that I could come across. As I'm sure that you're aware, there's always places like Craigslist and stuff where you can find people who are just wanting to get rid of outdoor type stuff. And so that's a really good place to look. My kids had a couple of sets of lawn furniture they had no use for. They had picked them up. They were completely free. And so, yeah, I said, yeah, I'll totally take those. And then old signs like this can always be repainted and tailored to fit your needs. Something like this Ozark Trails canvas thing that got torn up in the storm. It's a bunch of aluminum bars that come across at the or come apart at the joints very, very easily. And all of this aluminum can be used in some other way. So let me show you some of the things that I did. You to see the color of the chairs before I ever started on them. They were, as you can see, this sort of a dull outdoor green color. I guess you would call that olive. And I'm sure they would look good against certain houses, maybe a white house. But I wanted something to look more like a chair that sits around a fire pit. And so I chose a couple of different colors. And I'll show you what those are. So those of you who know me know that I don't really follow trends. I sort of am somebody who gets a vision in my mind, and then once I figure out how I want something to look, then I just keep searching high and low until I find all of those elements and bring them together and make my vision a reality. So when I first started thinking about doing Blackrock fire pit, I wanted to go with color first. A lot of people might think of the fire pit itself first, but I really was thinking of color. I wanted something that was fiery and bold and vibrant. And so, not being close to a city, my color choices for my lawn furniture were really, really slim. So I went in not hoping for much, and then lo and behold, it didn't dawn on me that farming equipment is beautiful. Farming equipment is beautiful. So most of you are probably aware of a John Deere green and see that all of the time. But there's also farming equipment and engines out there under the name Kubota. And Kubota equipment is this beautiful, vibrant orange. And I thought, wow, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Bold, bright, and beautiful. And then a treat, International Harvester, has a gorgeous red, a beautiful red. And so I thought, Kubota orange and International Harvester red. Plus, it was right here local in my stores. So those were the colors that I decided to go with for my lawn furniture. And then I thought I would do my pillows in yellow.
a total of 4 chairs to paint, and I decided to get 2 cans of the Rust-Oleum red and 2 cans of Rust-Oleum orange. They're not $10 a can, so that cost me a total of $40 just for the paint. I also had 2 plant stands that I wanted to use in this project. As far as the pit, I decided not to go after a metal pit, used a metal pit from somebody else because I was afraid through years of use that the metal would be compromised. I just wanted an in-ground pit, so I bought the stones, found them at Lowe's for $1.88 each, bought 15 of them. 15 made a really nice 4-foot circle for my pit. And then after I laid out my stones, I simply dug out the dirt, and I used the dirt from the dig out to solidify the stones in place by putting it in between the stones. I figured between the heat of the fire, the heat of the sun, and rain, this dirt will eventually become hard, almost like cement. And we decided not to add anything to the bottom of our pit. We're just going to leave that dirt. So the stones cost me $30. So to go along with this proper fire pit, I wanted a s'mores stand. And so I just took a couple of old plant stands that were just formerly discarded, and we added a coat of spray paint to them. And I love this long one like this because it sort of makes a nice little table. And then after we added our spray paint, I just sort of temporarily wired it to the tree for more stability. And this is now our s'more station. The poles from that Ozark Trails canvas tent. I just started taking the poles apart, spray painting them, and using them for various projects around the yard. So I wired a couple of those to the tree, made myself some S-hooks, and that's where my marshmallow forks hang from. I do want to mention that with this Rust-Oleum paint, the nozzle is really narrow, so you may have to invest in one of these handles if you get tired of spray painting. I also want to mention how beautiful that Harvester, International Harvester Red, came out on this plant stand. This is like a little cup holder, beverage holder stand that goes in closer to the chairs, but I just wanted to mention how beautiful that International Harvester Red color is. And then, oh, the little embellishments. This is a picnic tablecloth holders that I had laying around that often don't get used because we don't use the tablecloths, and so we hung them out here, and now they keep our marshmallows nice and fresh for us. So here's an overall look at the finished project of Blackrock Fire Pit. What did it end up costing me? Well, it was $30 for the 4-foot ring of rocks. It was $40 for the 4 cans of Rust-Oleum spray paint, $10 for the 3 bags of mulch that you see on the ground, and the most expensive part of the project was the pillows. I found 8 pillows at Walmart, which cost me roughly $50, which did push me $30 over budget. However, I did end up with the cute little sign and that nifty little s'mores maker station that's standing right behind me. So hopefully this video inspires you that if you want to come up with something, don't worry about keeping up with trends. Worry more about getting a vision in your head and then seeing that project through to the end, looking around, finding free things, thinking of innovative ways to upcycle things, and don't be afraid to be bold and be splashy and just be yourself. May this summer find you doing very, very well. I'm sending you much love and light. Blessed be.